I'm much obliged. Such a pleasant stay.
Alright, how's it going? It's Julie and Christopher, huh? Congratulations.
My way. But now I smell the rain, and with it pain, and it's heading my way. Sometimes I grow so tired. But I know I'm
Alright, how's everybody doing in the back? Y'all hear me okay? Good. You guys saw the safety video, yeah? Alright, good. There's passenger briefing cards in the pockets around the aircraft. You're supposed to know where those are, but more importantly, that's where the Aloha bags are located, just in case you're not feeling well, know where those are. I will be with air traffic control for a little bit. I can't talk to you guys and control their space, but that'll just be like 5 or 6 minutes, and we'll be out there on our own where I like to be. So until then, you guys just enjoy the ride.
It was a beautiful day, the sun beat down, I had the radio on, I was driving, trees went by, me and Del were singing, a little runaway, I was blind, yeah, running down a dream, that never would come to me, working on mystery, going wherever it leads, running down a dream. I felt so good, like anything was possible. Hit cruise control and rubbed my eyes.
everybody doing so far? Good. Well, we got perfect weather for a flight out to Molokai. You can see we got clouds up at the higher elevations, and we had a lot of rain this morning. That's why you can see all the muddy water in front of these valleys. So you get extra waterfalls today. Even along some of these sea cliffs, we don't usually have waterfalls. If you look closely, you'll see some smaller ones. But we got 1,000-foot waterfalls waiting for us out on Molokai. And we're flying alongside the north shore of the West Maui Mountains. They call this the West Maui Mountains off our left side because it looks like a mountain range. But it's a volcano, just like the rest of Hawaii, just really old. So rain and erosions wrinkled it up, created all these valleys. Volcanoes are just like us. We get older, we get wrinkles. So the volcanoes, the valleys and the canyons are their wrinkles. It's been over 1 million years since West Maui's erupted. This is what an extinct volcano in Hawaii looks like. Almost everything you see down below us is non-native. On Maui and Molokai, or on Maui and Oahu and these busier islands, we get on average 30 different species of plants, animals, or insects that get introduced. Things like take over because we get all this humidity and all this rain. So almost everything you see below us has come from somewhere else. And if you're not into trees and plants that much, you might not care that much, but I bring this up because when we get out to Molokai, we're going to be flying over a very remote and isolated area, and you're going to see what the native rainforest is supposed to look like. Taller, thicker forests, taller trees. The only trees you see now are ironwood trees from Australia, pretty much. And we're going to leave Maui now. We're going to go across the Pailolo Channel, head out to Molokai. We got about 10 miles of water between the two islands, so it'll take us just over 4 minutes to cross that channel. guys look out there on Molokai, you guys are going to see a sparsely populated island. Not too many people live on Molokai. They only have 7,000 residents. Back on Maui, we get 150,000 residents, and there's more visitors and residents year-round. That's no accident. They just have a lot of restrictions on the development of the land. They're trying to keep the island more locally owned, because back on Maui, we get a lot of resorts and hotels, but they're all owned by off-island companies from around the world. So most of the revenue disappears. But Molokai, what they do have, they keep local. The community has to approve any new development, and they pretty much just vote no on everything. So 40 years ago, they had 7,000 residents. Still only 7,000 residents on Molokai. Like old Hawaii.
One half could. It's wanting more. It's gonna send me to my knees. Oh, gravity, stay the hell away from me. Oh, gravity. Just keep me where the light is. Just keep me where the light is. Just keep me where the light is. Come on, keep me where the light is. Come on, keep me where the light is. Come on, keep me where. Keep me where the light is.
You guys look here in front of us. This first part of the island that we're going to be flying over is a big cattle ranch. Most people don't think of cowboys and cattle ranches when they think of Hawaii, but there's a lot of them out here because we get year-round rain and warm temperatures, so grass grows continuously. There's been cattle ranches on all the major islands since the 1800s. Grass-fed beef is a big export, in fact, in Hawaii. So the Paniolo, the Hawaiian cowboy, a big part of the local culture in Hawaii. Once we get past this ranch, we're going to drop into the Halawa Valley and we'll go check out the first waterfalls on the flight. When we fly in our valleys and by our waterfalls, we like to get you guys nice and close, and we'll do some steeper turns so you get some good views. But anytime, if any of you guys are feeling uncomfortable or nervous or nauseous, just let me know and we'll fly further away from everything. But everyone's feeling good so far, right? All right.
Dark and right on the middle mark, just in the tear of everything that rises below the surface. And I watch from a distant 17, sure the others' dreams of being golden and on top. It's like in my head, there's so much there instead of all the colors that I saw. We are living in a dream, but I ain't what it seems. Everything's a mess, and all these sorrows I have seen. Everything's a mess.
crystallized, where the prettiest of lights that hang the hallways of the home. And the cries from the strangers out at night, they don't keep us up at night. We have the curtains drawn and closed. We are living in a dream. We're not saying what it seems. Everything's a mess. And all these sorrows I have seen, they lead me to believe everything's a mess. I wanna dream. Leave me to dream.
Alright, how's everyone doing? Good. Well, we got the world's tallest sea cliffs up here in front of us. Molokai is one of the smaller islands, but we got the tallest and steepest cliffs on the planet. Geologists say it's because of an earthquake. They think a massive earthquake hit this island a long time ago and it dropped a third of the island off into the ocean. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But whatever caused it, we got big cliffs. They're going to start out at about 1,000 feet, continue up to 3,000 feet, disappear into the clouds. In front of us, this is the Papala'ula Valley. Papala'ula Falls sits in the back of this valley. It's a 1,400-foot waterfall. This waterfall back here is the size of the Empire State Building. side, you guys are going to see the Wailau Valley. There's several people that live in this valley off our left, and there's no electricity or roads or anything. The only way in and out of this valley off our left is by boat or helicopter, and the people that live in there don't have either one. Every once in a while they get some supplies like dropped off for them, but for the most part they're hunting and farming and fishing in the Wailau Valley. You guys can see the Kalaupapa Peninsula. That's where the land stretches out into the ocean a ways. That's where the old leprosy colony was in the past. Leprosy was once criminalized. If you had leprosy on any of the islands, you'd be taken from your family, legally pronounced dead, and quarantined on that peninsula. And there was no harbor or anything. They'd park the boats right past that last rock island and kick them off. They'd have to swim to shore with leprosy. But they found a cure for leprosy eventually. Now that peninsula is a historic national park and a rainforest preserve that goes up into the mountains. So we've come a long way. And this in front of us is the Pele Kunu Valley that we'll head into now. This is where you'll see our most pristine native forest left in Hawaii. You got ohia lehua trees you'll see along the canyon walls. Kukui nut trees are the trees that look kind of like cauliflower from the air. And then there's 7 different varieties of these Hawaiian ferns. Some of them will grow like ground cover. Some of them will grow like trees and be like 20 feet tall. Those taller ferns can grow for over 1,000 years.
Butterflies and needles line my seamed up drawing, in case I need it. In my stomach, on my heart, chainmail. Hunger of the pine. Hunger of the pine. Sleeplessly embracing your yearning to me. Plenty more days in the sea, and so you finally use it. Bedding with me, you see at night your heart wears night armor. Hunger of the pine.
Native trees and plants out here, but if we were like land and hike around, the animals, the wildlife we would see is the same stuff we have in Maui. Animals have legs and they could walk and explore, and they've gotten into pretty much every corner of Hawaii. So we got wild boar, deer, mountain goats, mongoose. All of those are non-native and invasive animals out here in our forest now.
Sleeplessly embracing you. Realization grew on me as quickly as it takes your hand to warm the cold side of the hill. I'm there for you, be there for me. I'm the song the soldiers sing as they march outside our window. Hunger of the pine.
other side of this ridge line is like the crater of the Comacao volcano. All these volcanoes, over time, you'd stop erupting long enough, the lava rock will get washed away and replaced with rainforest. All your volcanic craters eventually get turned into these big valleys, all full of trees. That's what Haleakala's crater will look like in a couple million years. Still has the crater shape to it. Off our left side in a minute, you'll see the back of the Wailau Valley is like the northern spillway of the old crater. Towards this coastline, you guys can see the largest coral reef in all of Hawaii. In some areas down there, you could walk a mile offshore. It'll only be 1 to 2 feet deep out there at the edge of the reef. Hawaiians utilize that reef really well. They built these Hawaiian fish ponds. They'd stack rock out on the reef and encompass these circles and leave little gaps in the rock wall so the small fish could squeeze through. They'd eat the algae and the moss growing in the ponds, and when they got big, they couldn't get back out. It'd be like a trap. Worked so good they built 73 in total. It's an ancient form of aquaculture along this coastline. Clouds here, you'll see some of the other islands of Maui County. Maui is now the island in front of us. Molokai behind us. Lanai is off our right side, and Kaho'olawe will come into view about at 1 o'clock. So we got 4 islands here that are relatively close together, and there's relatively shallow water between these islands. Like it's less than 1,000 feet deep. On the outside of this group of islands, it drops down to 18,000 feet deep. So geologists, that's a sign this is a sunken island. They think of Maui was the size of the Big Island a long time ago. But over time, the island sunk, water filled up the lower lying area, and this is what we got now. But it's all we ask. Hawaiians have a creation myth about Maui. They say instead that none of the islands are here to start. And then this kid was fishing with a magic fishing line, caught the island of Maui, which was underwater. He's pulling it up out of the water when the line broke and left the island partially submerged. So geologists say Maui sunk. We call it Maui County. Hawaiians call it Maui Nui, which means Big Maui, and they say it never came out all the way. So either way, it's up to you guys, really.
Lost and found your whole world inside of one road town. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to you. Sometimes I think about life was so simple back then. We'd run around, no shoes, just some cane field blues. No thought to what was round the bend. Sheets filled with sand and secrets in the band. And sometimes I wonder if it's all a dream. Another green flash playing tricks on me, but I know deep inside I'm still alive. Let me take you back and you'll see. Remember getting lost and found your whole world inside a one road town. Set your mind at ease through the tropical breeze and Uncle playing slacky. We used to spend all day at the beach, shore brain fishing and sunburned cheeks. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to you. You know that I try not to live in the past, but when my mind starts to run, then it sure runs fast. Clear skies and that green, green grass in the Valley of the Kings on that old rope swing. And if you climb up in the tallest tree and get a quick glimpse of what the day might be, then you'll know deep inside it's still alive. So whenever you're lost at sea, remember getting lost and found your whole world inside of one road town. Set your mind at ease through the tropical breeze and Uncle playing slacky. We used to spend all day at the beach, shore brain fishing and sunburned cheeks. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to you. Oh no, take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to you.
Come on shore here, you're going to see Maui's coastline looks a little different than Molokai. Lots of hotels and resorts and golf courses. And they keep building more. That's Kapalua off our left. You can see the golf course out there. World famous now, that golf course, because it's part of the PGA Tour, but it used to be a pineapple plantation just like all this down below us. Before it was pineapples. It was sugar cane until like the 90s on this part of the island. Now all they're really growing out here is coffee. That's 400 acres of coffee plantations over off our right side. So agriculture is mostly on the decline now throughout Hawaii. But you'll see all these reservoirs. These reservoirs were originally built, designed to water sugar cane. Now it waters the people of the island. The West Maui Mountains here in front of us supply about 90% of the island's the people with water. They drill into aquifers. Back in the 1800s, they paid like Chinese immigrants almost nothing to tunnel into these big lakes, these big underground aquifers, and pipe the water out to the town of Lahaina, which is out there off my right side. You can see there's a cruise ship out there by Lahaina now and some tour boats, but that was once the capital of the island. That was one of the biggest port cities in all of the Pacific, because that water stays calm offshore. Even when we have strong trade winds, that coastline there, or that water will stay nice and calm. In fact, if you look off our right side, you can see the difference between the Pailolo Channel and the Ao Channel. Between Maui and Molokai, you get a wind tunnel effect in rough seas, so you can look out there and see the choppy water and the white caps. Out in front of us, it stays calm and glassy like that. like 99% of the time. So that's where all the trade ships and whaling ships would come in the past. Before that, Hawaiians would never live out here though because it's so dry. Lahaina means a merciless sun because it's extremely hot in Lahaina and there's no rivers nearby. All the big cities for the Hawaiians would be out on the windward side where you had fresh water consistently. Head up into the West Maui Mountains now. I'll show you some more spots you need a helicopter to see. These valleys on this side of the island are pretty cool. They're like half desert, half rainforest. You get 10 inches of rainfall in the front of the valleys. You get over 100 inches of rainfall annually just a few miles away in the back of the valleys. If you look down at the bottom of the valleys, you'll see they're very narrow. They're basically a riverbed. There's a change of elevation of a couple thousand feet from the front of these valleys to the back. So that's why over half of the West Maui Mountains is inaccessible. You can't build any trail or road down at the bottom of the valleys because it'll get washed out when we have heavier rain showers. So because of this rugged terrain, most of the West Maui Mountains can't be seen without a helicopter. Past this ridgeline is the Laniapoko Valley. The Laniapoko Valley is half desert, half rainforest, and the back of the valley is like the old crater of this volcano. This is like flying into the center of the West Maui volcano. Valley we're going to fly through is the Ukumehame Valley. Half of it looks like the Grand Canyon, half of it looks like the Hawaiian Valley, a few smaller waterfalls in the back of this valley as well. the Pali here in front of us. Pali means hillside or ridgeline in Hawaiian, so technically there's lots of Palis on Maui. But typically when someone says they're going around the Pali, they mean driving around this part of the island. There's a hiking trail up here that's pretty intense too. It's a 1,600-foot climb in about 3 miles. You can hike all the way up to this ridgeline. And Maui is the windiest island in Hawaii because it's a wind tunnel effect. You can see the bottom half of Haleakala in front of us. It's 10,000 feet. The West Maui Mountains is 5,000 feet. And a wind tunnel effect between the islands. 16,000 houses with electricity from this one ridge, or reside over on the windows. Heading into central Maui now. I'll have to be with air traffic control now until we land. Before we do land, I do want to thank you guys for coming out and flying with me. I don't get to go flying without you guys. They don't let me out by myself. So thanks for getting in here. And then once we do land, just sit tight. Wait for Megan and Janelle. They'll help you out of the aircraft. They'll set you up inside too if you want the video of the flight. We will be shutting down the helicopter once we land, so just sit tight, wait till the rotor blades come to a stop, and then we could all get out together.
Seems I've got to have a chance to see you. Every night I have a strange dream. Imprisoned by the way I could have been. Left you on my own arm, so it seems I've got to leave before I start to stay. For some lock the door and cut the key. Feeling alright. I'm not feeling too good myself. Yes, I'm feeling alright. I'm not feeling that good myself. Boy, you shelter me, go back round. And even now I'm set, and I wonder why. That when I think of you, I stop myself to cry. I just can't waste my time. I must get tired. Gotta stop and leave them. The boy lies. Goes down, too much to do before I die. Hey, feeling alright.
this morning, smile with the rising sun. Really the bird, it's by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry.
Alright, thanks again, guys, for flying with me. Just sit tight, they'll be right over in a second. You guys can take off your headsets and seatbelts if you want.